Welcome students. We are going to discuss about the chapter 5 as a revision. Now, in this revision, we are going to discuss about the fundamental of spreadsheet, which I have already completed. So it is a revision chapter, revising the same things. So what exactly is Microsoft spreadsheet? Microsoft spreadsheet is known as Microsoft Excel. And what is a spreadsheet in general? The spreadsheet is a large sheet of data which contains data and information. Now, this is made with the help of a grid of rows and columns. It is also called worksheet. Each page of the spreadsheet is actually the worksheet. The combination of these spreadsheets makes a combination of this worksheet makes a spreadsheet. So as you know, when you do it manually, that is called manual worksheet, whereas when you do it with the help of electronic data processing systems or maybe the programs, then it is known as electronic data processing systems or electronic spreadsheet. In the electronic spreadsheet, we are going to talk about the Microsoft Excel. And in the Microsoft Excel, if you look at the benefit of using the Microsoft Excel, it is automatically calculate the information. It is help us to create a grid of rows and columns automatically, and then we can enter a huge set of data with the and different type of data like formula, text, numbers, etc. Apart from that, we can represent this data in the form of graph. So the main properties or features of spreadsheet, if you look at, it is very easy to learn and basically provides an electronic way of calculation and recalculation automatically, because if you change any data in this kind of worksheet, you can see the effect of calculation in the different sheets. Then spreadsheets are required mainly in tabulation of data. Tabulation includes like making the report card or making the set of information which help us for census, like when the population counting and all things are happens. So these are the various places where we use the spreadsheet. To perform the basic mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, it's very easy. It presents the information in the form of charts and graphics, which I have already told you. It can help to create the graphics. Then Microsoft Excel is able to sort the data, means you can arrange the data in ascending and descending order. Microsoft Excel also can be protected with the help of password to this workbook, means each file can be protected. These are the main advantages of this is the main features of our spreadsheet. Advantages, you know, like if I have to create manually, I required a fixed set of data, whereas if it is much more flexible when you create a spreadsheet in the help of your with the help of our electronic data processing system or electronic spreadsheet systems. So inbuilt programs which appearance of the spreadsheet is controlled with the help of rows and columns in the form of table, and these tables are auto created. You can choose to work with the print, means you can print the same information number of time. You can make some changes in the worksheet and you can take the particular printout. So very easy. Before you take any printout, if you make any changes, that changes takes affected in the spreadsheet and you don't have to bother about the data calculation. It will be recalculated automatically. Analyzing of the data is so powerful that you can create a graphic with the help of graphs. Then you can represent that data. In the spreadsheet, what are the main properties of the spreadsheet windows? If you see the screen at the top, it is written the book 1 and then it is written Microsoft Excel. So that Excel is name of the software and book 1 is the name of the spreadsheet. On the left hand side, you can see at the top there is a small quick access toolbar is given at the top, and beside that there is a file button and there are lots of tabs are there: home tab, insert tab, page layout tab, formula tab, data tab, review tab, and view tabs. You can check the screen and you can easily find out the different options over there. Now, if we look at the screen, you will find it is written at the left hand side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those all are indicating they are the number of rows. Whereas at the again over there it is written A, B, C, D, E, F. These are representing the columns. So first cell is known as default cell A1. Just at the top of A you can see it is written A1, that is called the name box of the cell, where it will be appearing wherever you will move your cell, that address will be written over there in the name box. And on the right hand side there is a small fx is there. After that there's white space is where we put the informations or data, and this is also known as formula bar. And at the left right hand side you can see a scroll bar which is moving up and down, that is called vertical scroll bar. At the bottom you can see a scroll bar which will move your screen from the left to right. They are called horizontal scroll bar. So from up to down, 1 2 3 4, this movement, when you want to see, you have to use the vertical scroll bar. When you want to move from one column to another column, then you will be using the horizontal scroll bar. So actually this is actually move horizontal scroll bar moves the rows information, whereas the a vertical scroll bar moves the column information. And what is the meaning of row? Row is a combination of columns. Like if you want to store a number of information, you will have a number of headings, which I'll show you in the following slides. Now we will be looking at the commonly used terms in the spreadsheet. The first thing is that each page of the workbook is called the worksheet, and this is what exactly each worksheet got a name, that is called sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. By default there are 3 sheets. You can add on, go for sheet 4, sheet 5, sheet 6, and even you can change the name of the sheets. So this is called worksheet. Each page of the workbook is called worksheet. That means the combination of this worksheet makes a file, and that file is called workbook. So workbook is a file which contains a number of worksheet, and by default there are 3 worksheets are there. Now we will move to the next point. Now, if you look at the horizontal line at the left hand side, which is numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, these are called the rows. And if you look at the rows in the Microsoft Excel, they are referred with numbers. So if I look at the definition is rows are horizontal lines of a worksheet. They referred by using number as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now, what exactly is mentioned in your book is having some problem. Just uh, look at the numbers, which is the last rows is called 10,48,576 is the last row. So this is what exactly is mentioned in your book as 65,536. Please rectify that one. Now if you look at the columns also, what is columns? Now we will talk about the columns are the vertical lines of worksheet. They are labeled from A to Z and so on. Now the last one is actually 4096 columns are there in this particular workbook, and this is referred as XFD. The last column is referred as XFD. Now we are going to talk about the cell pointer. If you look at the combination of rows and column, at the crossing of rows and columns, the one square boxes is created, and these rectangular square boxes are a data holding place, and this is known as the smallest unit of the worksheet, which is also known as cell. You can see the screen, and over there I have mentioned a screen where I am showing a calculation, and that calculation is average calculation is coming over there. I'll be doing this data entry and everything after this, but this is the cell. This is the rectangular place where I am entering the data. Each rectangular place is called the cell. Now currently my cell is under the average, and this average place where my cell is, that is rectangular place which is highlighted. That means my current position of the cell is my this particular cell, and that is what exactly is known as cell pointer. A cell pointer is a rectangular highlight that indicate the active cell. So again, the active cell and cell pointer is similar type of things. Active cell is the point where my data, where I will be entering the data, that is called active cell, and that around that particular cell, the rectangular square boxes which you can see, the highlight, those highlight is called cell pointer, and the place where my data is entering, that is called the active cell. So active cell, the cell which cell pointer is located at a worksheet, is called active cell. It has a dark boundary around it, and it is also known as cell. You can move the cell pointer to make any other cell active. That means if you move to a cell pointer to another cell, then that will be the active cell where you will be entering the data. That is what exactly is mentioned over here. We are going to learn what are the things we can do in the workbook. We can create a new workbook, we can enter the data into the workbook, we can edit the data in the workbook, and these all information we can save for future use in a workbook. Then we can close the workbook, we can do something, and then if I have made many mistakes, we can undo that one, and by mistake if we undo something, then we can get it back using the redo option. Apart from that, we can go for some kind of calculation and simple formula, and finally we can print this workbook. This is the chapter's main objective. Now here what we are going to see on the screen is very important, that you will find on the screen that when I want to create a new workbook, I have clicked on file and then I clicked on new. As soon as I clicked on new, I get a backstage view. Over there it is written the blank workbook. Now in the blank workbook, if I want to create a blank workbook, I'll be selecting the blank workbook, and on the right hand side there is the options called create is written. So when I click on the create, I get my new workbook ready for operating. As my new workbook is ready, we can enter the data into the workbook. How to enter the data? We enter the data under the different columns. We can give the column heading. As you can see, I have given the different column headings, and under the column heading, I am entering the different data. So when you are entering the different data, under the name you are going to give the name, and under the class you are going to give the class, and so on. So where exactly I am doing some kind of mathematical calculation, but before that what I have done, I have entered the various cell values, and when I have entered the cell values, I want to do some kind of calculation with those cell values. How to do this calculation, I am going to show you after this. I want to find out the total calculations of the three subject marks, English, history and computer. So that exactly I am writing over there. Sum equal to is a very important symbol which we have to use at the beginning of any formula. So I have given at the beginning only equal to symbol, and after that what I did, I have used a simple another things is that written sum and then a round bracket open, and the values in from which cell I am going to take. So here the values are there in a different cell, and that beginning of the cells I have mentioned over there, and then given two dots, and again end of the cell where the computer values are there, and then I have closed the round bracket and pressed enter key. So the calculated value should automatically appear and give me the total. So here it is giving me the total in this particular cell. To transfer those all formula values to following cell, what I have done, I have selected the values and then drag it down to the next following cells, and automatically those cell values are copied. As you can see in the following cells, all the data is all the formula, the same formula is copied to the all the cells, and you get a calculation ready for your worksheet. Same way, when I want to create the average calculation, then I need a formula, and this formula is simple. Same way you have written the equal to sum, here you will be writing equal to as a first, and then you have to write average, and then you have to find out the group of cells whose average you want to write, and then you will be writing equal to average beginning of the cell and ending of the cell. So this cell calculation will be done automatically, and you will find the average of the values. Finally, when you want to save your document, you have to go to the file and save option. Now when you go for the file and save options, first time it will be appearing as save as you can see on the screen. One dialog box is there. That dialog box is showing save as options, so you can save your document in a specific directory, and that directory also mentioned over there. Apart from that, the place name of the file you have to type. Default file name is given over there, so you don't want the default file, so you want to give in your own name. So you can write any name and click on the save button to save the file.